Hello to my amazing Adesuwa's bakery and kitchen family. Welcome again to my channel. My name is Adesuwa. If you are new here, my name is Adesuwa, and if you've been here with us before, you definitely know that my name is Adesuwa. And so today on the menu we have Moin. That's the native name anyways, but you can also call this beans cake. So this delicacy is a very good one. However, I've heard a lot of people have problems with the consistency, the color, the texture, the taste. Now you're on the right channel if you are watching this video, because this video will just elevate your moi game from 0 to 100. So the first thing you want to do is to get a measuring cup, and you're going to measure 7 cups of beans like I am doing. Make sure you level up your beans, it doesn't go above the cup, because this is like a recipe that comes with measurement, so you don't want to get anything wrong. So after measuring 7 cups of beans, the next thing to do is to proceed to peel your beans. I don't know how you peel your beans, but this way I want to do it is the easiest way you can do it. If you have a blender, this is an hack to peel your beans in like 5 or 10 minutes. It didn't take me time at all to peel my beans. So thereafter, just put like 2 cups in your blender depending on the size. Make sure that you cover it up with some water and use the pulse function of your blender. Now you're just going to pulse that for like 2 or 3 times, and easy peasy, you have your peeled beans. So you're going to repeat this for all of the beans that you'll be peeling. That's from the 7 cups. Of course, my blender cannot take 7 cups at a time, so I have to do this in batches like I am doing. So also make sure you're make sure you're generous with water that you're using. Make sure that the water covers the beans, so that peeling it with your pulse function would be very easy. So thereafter, this is what we'll have. You are going to transfer it to a bigger bowl so that you can wash this properly, and just proceed to wash it like I'm doing in this video. Get a sieve and just keep pouring, adding more water, so that the dirt or the peel from the beans, not dirt, sorry, my bad, so the peel from the beans can come up, because apparently to come up is lighter. Just repeat the process until you have a clean beans. So that's what I'm doing now. And make sure that you change your water at intervals, so that it can be clear for you to see when your beans is getting clean. So this is a knack, and this is how you should peel your beans going forward. Now let's proceed to the ingredient. Like I said before, we're using local leaves to wrap up these beans, and the reason why I particularly love local leaves for my beans cake is that there's a flavor, there's an aroma it just adds to your beans. So this is our ingredient here. We have our 7 cups of peeled beans. We have 4 large bell peppers. We have now the reason why I will not be listing how many of this cayenne pepper and scotch bonnet pepper I used is because I don't know your heat tolerance, but make sure you don't use less than 4 large bell peppers, 4 to 5 depending on the size, but mine was very large, so I used 4 of it. Then for your cayenne pepper and your scotch bonnet, you might want to adjust that according to your heat tolerance. Now I went to the local mill to blend this because I want a smooth consistency. My blender cannot give me what I want for this recipe, so I went to the local mill, I blended it, and the first thing you want to do is to whisk this for a very long time. Incorporate air into this batter. It is important to do this. Like I said before, I want you to follow all the steps of what I am doing. So after you must have done that for about 10 minutes, you are going to get warm water to melt your bouillon cubes. I'm using 2 of that. I'm going to list how many gram of bouillon cube I used. I'm also using mackerel fish, that is optional, and that's why I didn't mention it earlier. I'll also be using some hard-boiled eggs for this particular recipe. So thereafter, I'm just going to proceed to add in some salt to my batter. This is after you have mixed properly. Please make sure you mix first before you add in your ingredients to incorporate enough air. So we're going to proceed to add in our boiled mackerel fish that were boiled earlier on into the batter. Now go ahead to add in your cooking oil. You already know I use sunflower oil, so that's a no-brainer. I like to use sunflower oil, but if you have vegetable oil, just use anything you like. Some people even use red oil. I personally don't like that, but if you're a fan, you can use red oil. But for this, I think some people like to use red oil so that it can be reddish in color or something. But if you follow my recipe, my measurement, trust me, you might not need to use red oil if you like to use vegetable oil, because you get the color you want. Now set your pot I like to put a carton underneath of my stainless pot, and then the sticks from the leaf itself, I'm going to put that. Then I would use about 2 or 3 of the leaf just for the flavor and all that. Just make sure you set your pot very well, because this is going to take at least 45 minutes to 1 hour to cook. So you want to make sure that you have your pot properly set so it doesn't get burnt. Now watch how the leaf is wrapped. In case you've always had difficulty wrapping this, I'm going to do about 2 or 3 so that you can get it. You can always rewind it. You can just look for a way to make sure that you get how I am wrapping my leaves. It is important you do this, because when you start boiling, you don't want water to get into your batter. So make sure that you wrap it very, very well, and you follow this process of how I am wrapping the leaves. Now let me do another one so that you can get this properly. And you're making use of 2 leaves. If you know how to wrap leaves your own way, you can just use your method, but this is my method and it is no fail. So you're going to wrap your leaves like I am doing, and you're going to make sure that no batter can escape from the leaf. It is finely wrapped. Now open up your leaves with your finger and just pouring your batter into the leaf. Also adding any protein of your choice. For me, like I said before, I'm using egg. I already have mackerel fish in the batter. Now there's something very funny about adding your fish into this batter. It basically makes the fish go down, so the last set of batter you'll be wrapping would have more of fish. So if you don't want that to happen, just make sure that you manually add your fish when you are wrapping your leaves. But for me, I don't mind, and that's why I just decided to add it into my batter. Now there's a spill. I'm just going to use my spoon to take that off. Add in my egg. You know, if you've watched my video prior to now, you will know that this page is a very realistic page. I show you everything. I show you my bloopers and everything. I don't hide or edit anything so you don't see. I just show you everything, because of course mistakes happen in the kitchen, and I think that you should see that I am making certain errors while cooking, because why do I have to hide that? So yeah, so this is me wrapping up more leaves just so that you can see how it is being done, in case you don't know how to wrap your leaves. Anyways, I'm still going to try to upload another video of me wrapping just leaf, just so that you can get this. But I think that you should be able to get it, because I'm doing a whole lot for you to be able to get how to wrap your leaves. So yeah, this is just me trying to wrap up my leaves to make sure that you get it. I can actually do without doing this, but it is important you know how to wrap your leaf, because once it gets into the pot and then there's water in the pot, if your leaves are not properly wrapped, water can get into the batter and that can just make a mess in your pot, which you don't want. So it is important that you get this process very, very right. So yeah, this is me wrapping. There's a way I place 2 leaves and cover it together before I do the final closing of the leaves. So if you have watched up till this stage and you have not subscribed to my channel, I don't know why, because this is a very warm channel. This is a space, a very healthy space that you should be part of our community. So do well to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so that you get to see my videos when I post them first. So yeah, I think at this point I'm just going to stop here. If you didn't get the process on how I wrapped my leaf, you can do well to go back and watch it all over again. Also, there's something that you need to know. When you're putting in your wrapped moi into your pot, you have to arrange it very well. Don't just put it shabbily. Make sure that you are creating like a pyramid, I don't know, but just make sure that you are arranging it very well, like everything is synchronizing like you can see in this video, so that, because this is basically something that is very technical to do. Thereafter, you are going to get boiling water, emphasis on boiling water, not ordinary water, because immediately you put the water inside, you just want your batter to start cooking immediately. And that is why in most cases when I want to cook something, I make sure that I have lukewarm water or hot water, especially things like this. So I'm just going to put the water from the side, not the middle, from a side where you can see a space, and thereafter we're just going to cover this with some local leaf. I bet with you that in 25 to 30 minutes after you start cooking this, everywhere is going to have a very, very lovely aroma. So just cover your pot for about 40 to 45 minutes and make sure you are cooking on medium heat. And this is what we'll have. If you notice, there's still water in the pot. It didn't burn because I basically decided to set my pot very well. The foundation of cooking this was very, very okay. So we didn't have burnt leaves of moi moi or anything. And look at what we have, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until my next video, I'll see you. Bye.